Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to today's video. I make it sound like I make videos all the time, but I don't. I don't. Okay, so before we get into anything, I have a question. Food for thought. Food, things for you to think about. When you, as a male or a female, depending on your gender, when you leave your house to go to a social event or to a social gathering, do you usually go out with the expectation or the intention of having fun? Or, having fun, meeting new people, making new friends? Or do you go out hoping to meet someone, that someone, that someone? Ignore my nails, and just try. Yeah, hoping to meet that guy, that person, or someone who could, get something with, or someone who you could like and be interested in. Or do you go out simply hoping to have fun? Okay, so I want to talk about that. Okay, so because of the reason that, one, I think you may answer maybe to other people or to yourself that, no, I'm just out here to have fun. But are you really? Are you really? When you go for that get together, when you go for that social event, when you go to that club, for those who go to the club, wherever it is you're going, are you going to have fun really and just enjoy yourself? That's all? That's it? Or are you looking for something more? Okay, so this was triggered by a quote that I read the other day. I want to read it to you guys. And FYI, because I want to keep myself on track, because I know I can talk so much, So I have a couple of notes here that I'm going to refer to, because I don't want to keep digressing, because that is a professional, like, I am a professional digresser. It is, if I was to make a living, man, I'd be a billionaire. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I read this quote and I want to read to you guys, and then you tell me whether you agree or disagree. Feel free to leave a comment mahali hapo chini, naona wakifanyia hivi hapo chini. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know if you agree or disagree, or you could just think about it for yourself. Okay, so let me read to you guys in a second. Okay, so it says, we must master the art of enjoying other people's company without expecting it to turn into a commitment or a relationship. Think about that for a second. What do you think? Do you think that we should, when we meet people and enjoy their company, should we be more inclined or able to enjoy people's company without necessarily hoping that it's going to turn into a relationship? I'm talking about, male-female interactions. Is it something that we do nowadays, where we meet people and we are more interested in friendships or relationships? Or are we always, reda iko huku juu tu tukitafuta my boyfriend na my girlfriend? What do you think? So I read this statement actually kitambo. Let me not even act like I read it the other day. It's a while back. I think it's like a couple of months ago, and I did a poll and asked people their opinions and what they think. Is it, what should we do? What should we do? Yeah, so I got a couple of people who responded that they agreed, and others who responded that they disagree with the statement. So I just want to go through the reasons that people give as to why they agree and why they disagree. Okay, so for those who agreed, first, I think I should qualify that most of those, if not all of those who agreed, translated the word relationship to mean a romantic relationship. So the statement was, we should master the art of interacting with people without necessarily expecting any kind of commitment in terms of a romantic relationship, or something to develop into a romantic relationship of some kind. So most people who translated this to mean romantic agreed with this statement. So I will go through the reasons for agreeing. Okay, so one of the reasons that I got was that when you meet someone and you already have this idea or desire for a relationship, or this expectation, actually is the word, this expectation of getting into a relationship, then first of all, it's a little bit short-sighted, and it's also quite scheming. Short-sighted because we end up not appreciating this person's company because of who they are, but we seem to be more interested in what they can become to us as opposed to who they are as people. and it can be scheming, because if I'm looking for a relationship and this person is simply looking for a friendship, the way I would translate the things they are saying to me would be a bit skewed. If they tell me, "Oh, you look so pretty," and I'd be like, he likes me. I knew it, and then he tells another girl that she looks pretty, and I'm just there like, but I thought you and I had a thing, like, and then it gets all misunderstanding and stuff like that. So there is that one problem, that it's a little bit short-sighted and scheming in some sense, because ni kama umewekea mtu mtego, like hako hapo uko hapo, so everything is translated in the wrong way. Number one. Number two is that we cannot marry everybody who we interact with. We simply cannot. There is a reason monogamy is a thing, and I, for one, am very pro monogamy and everybody just being one. Singles, watu wawili wakuje pamoja waform kitu moja. Very pro that situation. So, we simply cannot, be in an interaction with every single person, and every person that we meet provides something different for us, right? So some interactions will grow into friendships, others can grow into deeper friendship, closer friendships. Others, you just meet and you guys remain acquaintances, where I enjoy your company today and I won't necessarily feel the need to extend this interaction, like to get your number so that we can keep talking. But the next time I meet you, boy, we are having a ball, like we're having a blast, we're enjoying ourselves. But I'm not necessarily like we're not in anything. It's just like when I meet you, we have fun. That's it. So we're acquaintances, and then others can go into friendships, and we can keep that relationship going. That's number two. So like we cannot be in a relationship with every single person that we meet, right? So that way, when we meet people, wouldn't it be so much easier if we open our eyes to the possibility of the fact that when I meet someone, all I am looking for in this situation is just to get to know this person and to enjoy the situation in the moment, have fun in the moment, and not be having all these plans and castles that I'm already building in my head with somebody who I probably barely know. Okay, so that was number two. Number three is that, and it's kind of tied to number two, is that the people who we meet around us, the people who we interact with, all of them are meant to add different things to our lives, right? They contribute different things or contribute to different aspects of our lives. Same way, me or I as individuals, or we as individuals, contribute different things to other people in their lives, right? So it could be that the separate people in your life are providing for you or are contributing to you from an emotional point of view, or from a spiritual point of view, or financially, maybe from a work or business perspective, or psychologically. Like everyone that we meet is really just meant to what? Provide different things or help us to grow in different aspects. So if I click with someone, I meet someone and we're able to click, maybe when we talk about business or money matters, right? If we click, doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna click in that aspect. So we could click on a business perspective, but we don't necessarily have the same views, when it comes to other matters, spiritual matters, psychological matters. We may have other conversations and realize we don't necessarily have the same viewpoint on life. And I could even be, it could be someone who I may feel is very, very cute. I look at him and I'm just like, boy, you got it going on. But if there is that difference, then can we respect that and see that I can have this interaction with this person and not necessarily expect anything out of it? Yeah, just appreciate the interaction for what it is and for the benefit that it provides to me at this point in time. Yeah, that was number what? 3, I think. Let me see. Yeah, and then we go to number 4. Number 4 is that if we approach people always looking for relationships, you meet someone, and I will speak, I guess, from the perspective of people who are single, and then every person that you meet, if you're like in that state in life where you just want to be in a relationship and everything, then you meet people with whom you're not on the same page, right? So they are looking for friends and you are looking for a relationship, and then there's just, which is also a bit tied to number 1, I guess, then there is this whole, disappointment and confusion and unnecessary heartache. So can we spare ourselves the unnecessary heartache of always aching for relationships? Can we? And just try and build friendships. However, I think the point that I thought, okay, there was 2 other simple ones. That was number 4. Number 5 is that circumstances will not always allow for us to be in a relationship with people. Sometimes you can be in a situation where you are friends with someone and probably you're really good friends, but for whatever circumstances, you guys cannot graduate this interaction into a relationship. It will stay a friendship. Yeah. And for it could be really, there's a whole bunch of circumstances that could be surrounding that. And really, one of the most, the obvious circumstances, if I'm already in a relationship and I meet someone and they cute and they fine and we get along, but can it go any further? Can it? The premise of loyalty is built on the very fact that it cannot, because of the realization that I'm already taken, and then you may not. I'm taken, so I'm already loyal, I am devoted or committed somewhere else, right? So circumstances, that's a typical circumstance, but it could be anything else. It could be, if somebody is not looking for a long distance relationship, then if you are in Russia and I'm here, then it just can't work. That is, for those sick. Number 6, and for me this was the response that I would have given, or when I read this statement, this was my thinking on the matter, is when we meet people. This is also a response that I got from someone, and I really loved how he put it, because I agreed. It was just put really well. It says the only way we can really enjoy people's company is when we have no expectations as to what this is going to develop into, right? So usually when we meet people, or when I meet someone and I already have this expectation or desire to have a relationship with this person, the truth is that having those expectations usually makes us tense and a little bit uneasy. And the problem is now you start constantly looking for their approval and painting the picture of what you think they want to see, as opposed to what you really are. So there's just so much tension and so much, what am I trying to say? We put up a facade about who we are that really is not the case, right? So we are having these, I'm putting on a facade because I'm putting on what I think you want to see, and you're probably doing the same thing, and so these interactions are not really genuine, right? However, on the other hand, if we are geared towards, and I'm not saying that getting into a relationship is bad, at some point you get to a point in life where you want to get into a relationship, and you should, yeah. So it's okay, but always just having it from the get-go that I am looking for a relationship, I feel like the problem with that is, I am looking to impress this person. The problem with that is that you lose a whole bunch of who you are, right? It stops being real and natural, and now there's this whole facade that is happening, and then unfortunately we lose the opportunity to patiently get to know someone and patiently get to observe them from a friendship point of view, where no one is putting on faces about who they are. So for me, the most powerful reason for which I would have agreed with this statement is because I really feel like today we get into social situations, and because we are in a situation where people are looking for more than friendships, then there's a lot of, the air in the room isn't necessarily very genuine. People aren't completely being themselves. They are being what they want other people to see so that they can be attracted to them. And then it's not real, And I will give an example of sometimes when I go to social gatherings and there is a mix of male and female dynamic. And I feel like it's very hard to have a conversation with someone without them necessarily feeling that there is something more that I want, And or it's either that if I am talking to a young man, it will be because he has some interest in me. Not interest to get to know me as a friend and to just maintain a friendship, but there is some interest of some kind that is not purely friendship. And yet I would be very happy to have a discussion with somebody, not because they have seen that I am pretty and oh she's so neat, I can talk to her. Even if I am looking on my worst day, it would be nice to, even as I am looking terrible, it would be nice to have someone approach me and just want to talk to me simply because I am a human being and they want to talk, and it's not gonna go anywhere because no one has any expectations of going anywhere. And we end up finding that because we were talking with no motives in mind, as opposed to with no additional expectations of, than just to talk and to enjoy and to learn about stuff and to exchange ideas, then it's nice, it's cool, it's fun. Yes. So I would like to have or to see more of that in us, right? Where we just have interactions with people where we don't have expectations. Our expectations, or rather we have altered expectations. Now I have digressed, so I'm going to just go back to where I was, and then I'll come back to the points that I'm trying to make at the end of the video. So basically those are the five reasons, basic reasons that people give as to why they agreed with this statement. Yeah. So there was also, of course, a group of people who disagreed, and I will just quantify that there was about 80% of people agreed with the statement and about 20% disagreed. So for the 20% who disagreed, I noticed that the reason that they disagreed was actually because the interpretation or the understanding of the word relationship, it was taken to mean that it was taken to mean not romantic relationships, just general relationships. Should we not have or expect to build certain commitments with people, with just people out here? If I interact with someone, it could be anyone. A relationship, really, the meaning of the word relationship encompasses a wide variety of interactions. My interaction with Mama Mboga over here, that is a relationship. If I ask her to kata for me mboga, because manze me na kukata mboga, I'm telling you, if I did not have Mama Mboga in my life, I probably would never eat mboga. Like, I'm not even joking. So her presence there is good for me because it helps me to kula mboga. And when I ask her to cut for me, and then and she says yeah, then that's some kind of relationship that we have there, and a level of commitment to an extent that we have there. Same with the guy at the gate, or the person at the kiosk, or our colleagues, or our acquaintances. So the people who disagreed, it was basically from the perspective that every single person who we interact with, there is a level, no matter, it could be this much, but there is a level of commitment depending on the interaction. And now the problem is just that we place the wrong kind of expectations on the wrong kind of relationship. So it's like me expecting Mama Mboga to be available for my emotional needs, and then I'm getting disappointed rather. Wrong, right? So there is a level of commitment in every interaction that we have. It's just we need to know at what point is this interaction, and what is the reasonable expectation that I should have from this interaction, so that I'm not over expecting, and at the same time I'm not expecting nothing. Which I have just had a thought, and I could very easily digress, but I will not. So I think for those who disagreed, that was the main point, is that we cannot not have expectations or have a sense of commitment to anybody. Just everybody, with every interaction there's a level of commitment, and I guess I agreed with that. Even with a stranger who you call and they tell you I'll call you back, there's just that sense of, they said they'll call me back, and so for that reason I have some kind of expectation. Anyway, so those were the 5 reasons for those who agreed, and I felt like those who disagreed, that was the reason. And to be honest, I feel like really we are on the same page. If we are looking at it from the point of view of agreeing, then from the point of view of relationships, meaning romantic relationships, then yeah, I think we can all agree to that. And then if you are looking at it from the point of view of a relationship, as a relationship could mean any kind of interaction, then I'm pretty sure we also agree with the guys who disagree, right? So I just wanted to add a few comments about this. So we may, as a whole, agree to the fact that we don't want to be meeting people and just having all these expectations of getting into a relationship or having some kind of commitment with somebody just because we have interacted a number of times and we enjoy each other's company. But do we really act that way? Like, is that really how we feel at the end of the day? Like, I may feel that it's true just because I have interacted with this person a number of times and I enjoy their company. I will say that I should not be feeling like there should be something more. But the way we act says a little bit different, which is why we have certain energies, in social gatherings where it's all about, I feel like relationships have really been elevated, like really elevated above friendships. And I, for one, truly believe in the power of good friendships. I believe that good friendships are yani, because the thing about relationships is, unfortunately, they come and go. They come and go, and it's very hard to go back from a relationship into a friendship. But once you have a friendship going, if you realize that we are not able to work as a in a relationship, then we can stay friends forever. And that's the thing about friendship, is that friendship can be guaranteed to last. You know, it will last. And if somebody was adding some value in their life, and for some reason you realize there's some differences that do not allow us to get into a relationship, then that's great, because we realize that a friendship is what is good for us, and I can keep you and the value that you provide, and you can keep me and the value that I provide, and we can stay that way, no complications. And that way we can keep people in our lives, just realizing that this cannot work as a relationship for 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. However, it works great as a friendship, because we're able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we help each other and we build each other in certain ways. So I really feel like it would benefit all of us. And when I say us, believe me, I mean me as well. You know, it would benefit all of us if we really gave more focus to building friendships, right? And then from those friendships, you know, you have different level of friendships. It's like you have your inner circle, you have another outer circle, you have an outer circle, and you never know. Eventually, somebody from that inner circle or elsewhere, usually I hope that inner circle, can graduate to the point of becoming a partner, a lifelong partner who you can actually have a relationship. And this is after you have gotten to know each other without any pretense, without anyone faking. They have seen you at your best, they have probably seen you at your worst, and you guys realize, now we good, you know. So, but not to say that it always works that way. It doesn't always have to work that way. People meet, and then they get into relationships, and they get to know each other within the relationship, and I guess it works that way. But my point is, we don't have to keep burning bridges on the road to that relationship, because we have tried to be in a relationship with everyone who we felt was good, or we clicked, you know. So because I have clicked with, you know, like 17 people, I have tried to be in a relationship with all of them, and unfortunately I have lost all of them, because relationship didn't work, things got awkward, we stopped talking, something like that, when I could just have tried to be in a friendship. And then still, you know, by the time I'm getting to number 17, who ends up actually being in a relationship with me, I have built 16 friendships now, kunyuma, right? Or maybe I tried 2 or 3, didn't work. I've still built like 12. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I think my point was the weight of these two things, relationships and friendships, and just changing how, is it changing, or just trying to do better in our view of friendship. Yeah, I feel like friendship is really, today, it's not, the priority on relationships is much higher than the priority of friendships. And I feel like the value of friendships is highly like has been under, the value of friendships is being understated or underestimated, or, you know, people don't see how important friendships are as compared to relationships. So yeah, that's all I had to say for today. Thank you, though it's a while, nikitambo tangu niposti poll na watu wa respond, but if ever any of you who responded watch this video, asanteni for your responses. Kusema tu kweli, I learned a bunch of things. Like, I think I would only have been able to give one reason, or maybe, you know, but just hearing different people's point of view and from the way they expressed it, like what I presented here was just a summarized version of what I felt people were saying. So yeah, thanks everybody, thanks for listening. I wish you a wonderful day, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are and whatever time of the day it is. Bye, have a nice day. Mwah!